Would you like to see us do some human testing on a rope swing today? Check out all the good stuff we've got coming on this episode of How Not to Rope Jump. Hi, I'm Ryan Jinks, and welcome to Elephant Rock. We have a 275 meter line rigged here that we just established, and we are going to experiment with inline rope jumping. So I'm going to clip out to one of these segments out there, slide back this way, let go, and swing in line with the Highline. Hopefully, if this goes well, which I sure hope it does, this can open up all sorts of opportunities for new rope jumps where you don't have a clean cliff to jump off of or a cliff over there to jump off of, but you just have a giant, maybe 300 meter line that is high enough in the middle to fool around with. So I lasered it yesterday, and the trees down there are about 50 meters down there, the one that I'm most likely to run into. And this is a 70 meter rope. So we basically fold it in half. We have knots, lots of knots. If you don't know knots, tie lots. And hopefully the stretch doesn't basically make me hit that tree. So anyways, this is redundant because we basically folded the rope in half. It is one single rope though. But I have a Rock Exotica on me, like we have done on most rope swings, but I also have a Rock Exotica at the ring because people have asked in comments whether or not you have the same force on the bottom of the rope as the top of the rope. I assume so. We'll find out in this human testing. I don't know if tape is going to keep this from cross-loading, but it sure makes me feel better. And in case that doesn't go so well and the Rock Exotica for some reason explodes in my face, I am tied into the end or the middle, depending how you look at this. Same with over here. Let me show you. What we've got here is a line scale 2 from linegrip.com, and that's going to read the force on the Highline. This reads at 40 times per second, which is plenty for such a dynamic system. It's probably technically enough for this system, but I have two Rock Exoticas and they read at 500 times per second. We've got fast on and max, so that should, yep, that should work. How I've attached my life to this is I double wrapped a soft shackle to the ring. And the reason I did that is because, one, I love soft shackles. And two, I just don't want carabiners cross-loaded. As you can see, my fear of that happening right here. So I tied a BFK, a big freaking knot, and that is technically redundant. And both strands coming out of that are going to me. But we also have right here, these strands are going directly, tied in directly to the ring to be safe and make sure, like, if that were to break, that I'm backed up. This is 2 titanium rings. This is 2 slack lines. This is 2 web locks, to a BFK, to 3 bolts, and some bolts way back there. Hey, Bobby. One of the hardest parts about rope jumping is not coming up the rope. Obviously, we know we have to do that, but you have to slide back to the anchor. And when you put a lot of force on, especially jumping, can stretch the lines out. And so sliding uphill on a Highline is almost worse than jugging. So I have this rope here to that pile, and Bobby is going to pull me back in. I'm going to clip this to the segment out there that I will get to when I come up the rope, and that will allow me to just get pulled in like the pansy that I am. I have nothing else to say about this, but I'm procrastinating because I'm nervous. Go to hownottohighline.com if you want to read all about bolts or all about highlining. We do have a course coming out soon about rope jumping, so you don't just have to watch these videos and try to piece together what we're doing. It'll be A to Z the whole process through. Please don't learn this kind of stuff, including highlining or anything dangerous, from some guy off YouTube. I know I'll say that again at the end. Please. Like, this is supposed to just help you understand what you're looking at when you do go with somebody and a crew of people who know what they're doing. Now, this is a pretty cowboy sport in the fact that we're just kind of making this shit up as we go. But at the same time, I have done dozens of rope jumps now, and I spent a lot of time testing things and making sure the process is going to work before I let go of a Highline tied into a very long leash.
All right, Ryan just went out there. He's hooking up the swing. And looking at our dyno, we have peak force on and 3.63 kilonewtons so far.
Okay, we're finally ready. This is really hard to crisscross my soft shackles. I have that in another video on how to stabilize this ring, but I add soft shackles, which I have a video on how we tape this line actually, and I include them in there. I just flipped them back here and taped them back this way. I walked the line earlier today, didn't bother me, but they're already embedded in the loops to help stabilize the ring, and that's how this system works, keeping this ring in place. I forgot Velcro padding for all the metal abrading on this tiny rope here, so I taped my glove. Innovative. So I lowered my rope, and it just, obviously it's not the same height as that tree down there, or I wouldn't be doing this at all, but it seems a little close. So in order to play it safe, I tied in just a little bit closer. I did a BFK for this, and BFK to my backup, and then just clipped off the excess here. On the next jump or future jumps, we could always go longer, but you want to start short and extend it as you go. Nothing's more embarrassing than dying if nothing fails because you're an idiot. About to do an inline rope swing. How long can I hang on before I let go? Oh, that's about it. Wow! Oh, now I'm swaying. Oh God, I'm like right at the level of that tree. Whoa! Yeah, I definitely would miss that tree. I would use the rest of this rope if I were to do it again. Inline rope swinging works! Whew. Let's test the GoPro 8 stabilization because my hands are shaking. 1.8 kilonewtons is not very much. And that's both ropes. Like, there's two ropes here, right? And I actually put these on the brake test machine and we slow pulled, and these broke at 15 kilonewtons, which is normal for climbing ropes. But plenty of safety margin when you do single people jumping. It's a little sketchy when you start doing tandem rope swings. But I definitely like the inline thing. That was kind of fun to let go of the Highline and then basically do a giant leash fall. Another option here at the Elephant is to rappel off the end of a rope there, because you got to clear the hump of the rock, as you can see. So it's very steep after the hump goes away, and you could swing and do what I just did, which is another variation. Jumping off of that wall would be really sketchy because you got a tree here. Well, you just got a lot of shit going on. But you can do this pretty safely if you don't screw anything up. I'm not very into setting up haul systems. Some situations like the Fruit Bowl in Moab, kind of nice to have it. We can't have motorized things here in Yosemite, so like a bunch of people pulling, it kind of sucks. So I'm just gonna jug this. It's only 30 meters, if that, and then I'm gonna have Bobby pull me in, because that's the part that really sucks. 30 minutes later. I don't think it was 30 minutes, but okay. 1.96. 1.96. Interesting. Now, it's not that much different than 1.8, but these are both just been fixed. They're both functioning super well. We got two different numbers. Top of the rope saw more force than the bottom. Why do you think that is? I don't know. Put that in the comments below. A little bit more and stop. So this was nice to have clipped that rope out of the way. So 10 out of 10 would do it again. I just wish there was something to clip it to. We'll review the footage later to see if that was crossing this webbing poorly. All right, Bobby. I'll help Bobby out a little. Bobby's helping me out a lot. Man, I could have sworn we had that. But it's 1.47 now. What was it before?
It was getting up to like 3.7, 3.8 judging.
Okay. I can't imagine it being more than 1 or 2 kilonewtons more than... Yeah, sorry guys for bad human testing. Rupa, what are you gonna do?
Fall off of a 400-foot rope? I don't know. Tell me. I'm just doing whatever you say.
The cliff is 400. The rope is 100.
Fair enough. Well, either way, I'm scared shitless.
You know that Mars problem they had where one guy used feet and one guy used meters and it crashed into Mars?
I haven't heard of that.
I could see that being a problem here if we keep going from meters to feet. Figuring out how close we can get to that tree.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Because I lengthened the rope before I left the station so he can find out if we can get some more force on those dinos.
Joy!
For science.
I love science.
Oh, shit! Yeah! 2.46! How hard is it to pull people in?
Probably not as hard as pulling yourself in.
Oh, that's a good answer. So, 3.85 kilonewtons is the peak he put on after he rope swinged. I had hold. Did you know hold is different than peak? I hate dynamometers. So he got 2.46 when he rope swinged on the bottom of the rope. And I don't think we have the top number. But 2.46 is very interesting considering he only weighs 20 pounds more and only swinged about maybe 6 feet more. I'm gonna hang on to this GoPro just with my hand, you know? Ah! Holy shit! That second swing's the doozy. Whoa. That's what it looks like. Yee-hoo. 1.90. Hopefully we got the other readings. Okay, so I grabbed the GoPro and my finger hit the back of the screen, which is touchscreen, and stopped the recording. So I had to turn it off, turn it back on, hanging on with the one hand without the glove. Because my glove's patting that up there. Oh, nothing simple. Seriously, I actually think this is pretty risky with the rope to pull us back in. So I got tangled in that. Ropes could cross, and when ropes cross, that's when you die. Anyways, I'm gonna just start chugging. All right, I made it to the top, and we got our reading, 2.04. So 0.14 kilonewtons more on the top of the rope than the bottom. Do the percentages for me, I'm pretty tired. We're gonna unclip all this, attach it to myself, and it's gonna be a lot easier sliding over because we have this tagline. We're gonna de-rig now. I'm tired. What did we get on this dyno?
6.1.
6.1 after I put about 2 kilonewtons on the rope. And it started at how much? 3 something?
3.84 or so.
3.8-ish while I was setting up. So smart people, do some math and put that in the comments below. We're obviously not that smart since we do human testing. I'm actually not that patient is really what it comes down to. But make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. So, and don't try any of this at home so you don't miss an episode. Cheers.